One thing I didn't realize it happened until after is I put my full identity into to what I was doing in sports. And that on top of just the heaviness of needing validation for what I was doing. Football's a big validation piece, especially in America when it comes to man, I just felt like I was going to play in the NFL like my dad. I felt it was going to be a long career, and I played at two different teams. That was the Redskins and the Ravens. I was on camp rosters with them, and then I found myself at the end of my career just feeling completely like empty and confused, and feeling like I'd put all this work into nothing, and then here I was. I had nothing. I'd built my whole identity on sports. I went from being a Michigan football player to an NFL football player to now what am I? That was a difficult time. And now I work with athletes every day, and I see that they all struggle with the same thing unless they've truly surrendered to Jesus or in a relationship with Him and have found their true identity. I go into medical sales because I'm like, okay, like what is going to bring me fulfillment? And it's just your mind goes to, all right, I need to make money, like as much money as I can, and I need to do something that's important. And like that was medical sales. And really, like, why medical sales? It was like, you know what, all the athletes are doing it. It's like, why not just go do it? And so I started out with the company in Denver, and I went on 6 years there. And over those 6 years, just in a lack of fulfillment, but just you start to find ways to dull the stuff that's going on the inside. And so, marijuana had legalized in Denver, and I was just like, oh, what the heck? Give it a try. And then that turns into 1 time to 2 times to 3 times to where it becomes a habit over time. I was still doing really well with my job, but it was, it's like, it's almost like Groundhog Day. You wake up, you go to work, you bust your butt, you're tired after work. Some people throw down a few beers, like for me, it was like, I smoke a little weed, hang out, but then it just, the cycle continues. And then you get to the weekend and you're like, all right, now it's time to go let loose and hang with the boys. And, you end up having too many drinks, and then you're waking up in the morning and you're dulling your hangover with more stuff. And by Monday, you're completely depleted and you're hungover. And then you're like, oh, I'm never doing that again. But then by Friday, you're doing the same thing over again. And then this kind of groundhog cycle starts. The work thing, it's funny. It's like I started to dominate in medical sales, and I was doing very well in the industry. And that was like the slightest bit of validation, like I allowed myself to have, but I was just completely empty. And
Steve, it makes me think of there's a passage in Scripture talks about going to broken cisterns, which cisterns would hold the water in that day for people. And there's this picture of it would fill up with water, but eventually it's disappearing. And that Jesus is that source of eternal water that's continuing to well up. And whether it's our career or whether it's a temporary fix in a recreational drug, it is finding some satisfaction for a moment, but then it's gone. And we're still left in that same situation of emptiness, questioning, is there deeper meaning? And it sounds like that was a little bit of your journey during that season.
Yeah. There's that voice that says, you know what, it's over, it's okay. Like, you can accept it. This is the route that you've been given. But then there's that other voice in your head that says there's more, and you're meant for more, and there is something else. And I wanted to believe that voice. And then there's the other voice that just wants you to believe that you're not worth it, that you're broken, and that's okay. It's like, and it tells you that it's okay, but it just, I got to a point in that 6-year journey in Denver after I got done playing ball where like that Groundhog Day, just I had it one day.